Going on to Jerome's. So the Minnesota Vikings have no one to blame but themselves for having to be in scoreboard watching mode, because the Vikings should, could have, would have beat the Broncos and the Bears and the Bengals, but let's not dwell on that. I got to accept reality on reality's terms, and if the Vikings keep on winning out, beat the Lions twice, beat the Packers, everything will take care of itself. And also, if the Vikings simply take care of their business at home, beating the Lions on Christmas Eve, beating the Packers on New Year's Eve, they will be 99.9999% chance to make the playoffs, blah, blah, blah. But it is what it is, and here we are. So the 7-7 Vikings watching the 7-7 Saints taking on the 7-7 Rams. Isn't this the NFL's wet dream? Right? You know what makes the NFL so good is that there's so much parity. Like, everyone's bunched up around the middle. Every team, every fan base generally has a chance. And also, it's not like the NBA or Premier League where there's only a handful of teams that can win the championship. Like, any single team can get hot at the right time and get after it. So that's what we're holding out hope. And also, it seems like every single game, like if you pluck any random game from the end of the week, like it always seems to come down to the wire or is within one score. And that's exactly what the NFL wants, because, I mean, you don't have that with soccer. You don't have that with baseball. You don't have that with the NBA generally. Well, sometimes the NBA or the NHL, where it comes down to one last drive, one last play. Anyways, but the Saints heading to LA, taking on the stupid Rams. So here's the skinny. So right now, via our friends Upshot over at the New York Times, current playoff odds, 47% chance for the Vikings. Now, they go up in either way because the Vikings, actually, let's bring that up. All right, so the Vikings are in a four-way tie with the Rams, the Seahawks, and the Saints right now at 7-7 in the NFC for the last two playoff spots. Now, when there's more than two teams, so 3+ teams, in a tie, head-to-heads go out the window, which, I don't know. Argument for another day. So it comes down to conference record, and right now the Vikings are 6-3. They got 3 conference games remaining, 12 total for all the teams. So that's where we are, and the Vikings odds either way they go up, because obviously the Saints and the Rams play each other. Oh, but what if they tie? Shut up. Shut your face. That always comes up. Oh, well, what if they tie? Well, all right. You want to bet on 0 on the roulette wheel? Yeah, go ahead. But if the stupid-ass Saints win, the Vikings' playoff chances go up to 52%. If the Rams win, they only go up to 50%. Now, 2%, skim milk. Actually, no, 2% is one. Right now, 2% is milk. So why the disparity? So as of right now, basically what it comes down to is that if the Saints win, they'll move to 8-7, but their conference record will only be 5-5. And also, if it comes down to the Vikings and the Saints heads up in terms of a tiebreaker, obviously the Vikings do have the head-to-head. Now, it would actually be more beneficial if the Buccaneers, also at 7-7, won the NFC South, because the Vikings don't have the head-to-head against them because of what the debacle week 1. Blah 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 blah. But if the Rams win, they will be 8-7, but also their conference record will be 6-4, which would be slightly better than the Saints, who would be 8-7 and a conference record of 5-5. So it goes down all the way down that rabbit hole. That's how they get that 2%. But like we said, if the Vikings take care of their business, it really does not matter in the grand scheme of things. But it sucks for the Rams that, hey, they swept the season series with Seattle, but if it comes down to a multi-way tiebreaker, Seattle could end up with a better conference record. But those are the rules that they agreed upon. But I would say, like we said, if the Vikings win, it really doesn't matter, and these differences are very minuscule. So it's not like a clear-cut, hey, the Vikings need X to happen or Z to happen tonight. And basically, F the Saints forever, blah, blah, blah. But it could be a spot, too, where you'd rather the Saints win because they would have a worse conference record. The Vikings have the head-to-head against them. And also, I do think that the Rams are a better team overall than the Saints. So, the Vikings and the Saints... Vikings and the Rams get in as a 6 and 7 seed, and then when both advance to the NFC title game at US Bank Stadium, I'd rather play the Saints than the Rams, sort of situation. But it's getting a little bit ahead of ourselves at that point. But like we said, hey, it's a marginal difference, and I don't know. If it makes you feel better to root against the Saints, it kind of does for me. Go ahead and do that. But either way, the Vikings. there's no more excuses. Like, if it comes down to it's like, oh, the Vikings didn't make the playoffs because the Rams beat the Saints. No, it shouldn't have come down to that, but the Vikings have made their bed and they got to lay in it. But like we said, beat the Lions, beat the Packers at home, take care of your business at US Bank Stadium, and then everything else is just sort of moot, and everything will take care of itself. Every little thing's gonna be all right. That's right, man. But your thoughts are thoughts. Thursday night football rooting interest. Yeah, screw it. F the Saints. F the Saints right in the face. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But next time, Skull Production Value.